2022 was a big year for sprint run and exclusive knives from Spyderco. I didn't pick up all of them, but I picked up a bunch of them. So I'll walk you through the exclusives and sprint runs from this year, 2022, in my collection. Excuse me. Um, Tell you a little bit about them and where they came from. Um, we'll start with this one, which has been modified. This is a Cutlery shop exclusive. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in CTS-XHP with a Wharncliffe shaped blade. Um, Cutlery Shop has previously done the Wharncliffe in S30V with a black coated blade, and then they've got both the satin and the black coated XHP versions of this knife that came out this year in 2022. Um, and I believe they're sold out now. I'm not actually sure. They may still have some of these in stock. This originally came with orange handle scales, just like that Native 5, um, and I swapped them out. Orange is pretty intense. You have to really like orange to like orange. And so I did sort of a monochromatic finish here. I got Flytanium scales in titanium, bead blasted titanium. I put a titanium pocket clip on there from Lynch Northwest, and I put in this Meton Boss titanium backspacer. Now, this backspacer rattled when I initially installed it, and I had tightened everything down as much as possible, and it still had a little rattle in it. And I contacted Meton Boss and asked if that was an issue. They said they'd never seen that before, and maybe I should just try it with some G10 scales. Well, I didn't want to go back to G10 scales. What I ended up doing was getting a tiny, tiny little bit of dental silicone that people use to put like on their braces and stuff to smooth them over so they don't cut up the insides of their mouths. And I worked a little bit of dental silicone into that gap and then cleaned it up so that you can't see any of it. And that stopped the rattle. So it seems to be working okay now. I've EDC'd this knife some. I quite like it. I'm worried that I'm going to snap that tip off because it is pretty delicate at the end, and that would be a shame. But it is a great cutter, great for opening boxes, very slicey, um, and I'm pleased with the modifications that I made here. Um, so also from Cutlery Shop is this Native 5, also in CTS XHP. And this has the same color of handle scales that were originally on that PM2. This is a big blade. This is a over 4-inch blade, so it's like a 4.1-inch blade. Lock back. Both of these are from the Golden, Colorado facility. Um, Spyderco had a couple of, well, they had one, at least one, Native Chief model that came out this year as an exclusive sprint run available only through the Spyderco store. And that was in M390 with brown handle scales. I gotta say, I like the brown handle scales, especially with that. It was a black coated M390 blade, I think. I could be wrong about that. Um, but it was sharp looking. I don't mind the orange on this knife. It wouldn't be my daily carry, but it's a pretty big, conspicuous knife, so it might as well be loud in color as well as in attitude and size. Um, yeah, very few Spyderco knives that have blades this long. Like the Police is one, and we're going to see the a couple of big bladed Spydercos today, but this is slightly longer than all of them. Okay. Uh, the Bob Lum Tonto is back in M390. This is a sprint run out of Seki City, Japan. Um, there have been versions of the Bob Lum Tonto out from Spyderco intermittently, well, very intermittently, over the past 20 years. Um, this version is a liner lock like the previous versions. Um, the blade silhouette is the same pretty much, but the grind is different. This is a hollow grind um, on the main edge here, and then I think it's a flat grind on the tip. But the original versions of this had a convex grind out near the tip, an appleseed grind for strength, and it's been made in different steels. This is the first time in M390, I believe. Spyderco doesn't make very many Tanto bladed knives, so that makes this already an unusual one for Spyderco. Um, they have made this knife previously, and they've made the Tonto version of the PM2 as an exclusive for Blade HQ. Another odd-looking knife. This is the Spyderco Massad Ayoob. Again, this is a model of knife that's been around for over 20 years. The original came out in like 2001 or something. Um, again, out of Seki City, Japan. This is in CruWear, okay, which is a great steel, but it's not completely stain resistant. And it comes with a little warning in the box from Spyderco that says, hey, keep this thing oiled even if you're not using it. This has got a very strong tip, right? Massad Ayoob is a firearms instructor and law enforcement officer, and has done. Um, he's taught classes on, uh, tactical uh, subjects, including I think knife fighting. Um, and this knife is really intended as a stabbing weapon, right? I mean, that's why it's got that strange negative blade angle, is because when you hold this knife in a sort of a natural fist position, it's pointing directly forward for stab. Um, I'm not really into knife fighting, but I am into collecting unusual knives, and this certainly is one. Um, I like it. A lot of people have very strong opinions and say it's very ugly. Um, I don't disagree, but I like it anyway. Or I like it because of its peculiarity. Kind of like a pug, right? Pugs. Some people say they're ugly dogs. I think they're cute as hell. All right. Same thing, but with a serrated blade, full serrations. Okay. Had to get both. Spyderedge, Spidey Edge. Right. Okay. Uh, so the the Yojimbo 2 is not a small knife, but it looks absolutely dwarfed next to the Yojumbo. Um, so we've got two. Well, this one's an exclusive, and this one's a sprint. The Yojimbo 2 sprint from his knife center is in CruWear, right? CPM CruWear. I broke a tiny, tiny little bit of the tip off of this, which is not cool. I wish that hadn't happened, but it is a delicate tip, and that's a weakness of this design. Um, Golden Colorado, right? This has got smooth G10 scales. It's G10, but that's been sanded down. It's kind of an interesting look to it. Um, it's got it is slicker than regular G10, but the fact that this has got such pronounced grooves for fingers um, means that you're still going to have a pretty good hold on it. Compression lock. Okay. Uh, Same basic design concept here in terms of shape and philosophy of use, but this is the Yojumbo, and this one has got S90V steel and carbon fiber peel ply scales. Again, Golden Colorado. Okay. I've not damaged the tip on this one yet, fortunately. And again, it is compression lock. The Yojumbo, the action on the Yojumbo is actually better than on the Yojimbo 2, at least on the samples that I have. The inertia of that big blade helps with both opening and closing using the compression lock. Okay. All right. From Smoky Mountain Knife Works, we've got a CPM M4 Paramilitary 2. That's going to be another steel that is very hard and it holds an edge really well and is decently tough, but is not stainless. This one has fat carbon handle scales. This particular pattern of fat carbon is called Junglewear. Okay, and it's cool. It's as you turn it in the light, it catches light and reflects differently, and kind of emphasizes different patterns. Um, and it's going to look good, I think, when that blade patinas with this handle material. And so yeah, that's Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And I think they have some other fat carbon options that they've cycled through, and they may have a black coated blade version of this. Not 100% sure. Shredded or marbled carbon fiber here in this Elmax version of the Para 3. It's a little stiff. Yeah, a little stiff. Um, this is from Fradon Lock and Key. It was an exclusive. Sold out pretty quickly. And Elmax is, of course, a great steel. We're going to see one other Elmax example here on the table, which is this Shaman in Elmax. Okay. This was an exclusive as well from Blade Ops. Action on this is just great. Nice grade G10 handle scales. Okay, smooth like the original Shaman G10 black handle scales, but this one's got the gray color and the Elmax blade. Okay, and last one, another Shaman, and this one I have carried quite a bit, and it's starting to pick up a patina because it is CPM M4, so not a stainless steel, but really good edge retention. I've taken this camping. I've done some, really basic bushcraft tasks with it. I've used it for utility stuff. I've used it to whittle, to carve up some wood, um, and I love it. They're calling this green micarta. It's got a hint of green in it. Some people replace the pocket clips on this because it's definitely not a deep carry pocket clip. It has to accommodate that big lanyard hole there. And there are fold over pocket clips that will make this carry deeper. But if you're carrying a knife this large, I don't think, trying to be inconspicuous is really the point. So I'm fine with the pocket clip the way that it is on this knife. Okay, so that's a look at my my collection of 2022 exclusives and sprint run knives from Spyderco. I hope that you enjoyed those. I know I missed some. I mean, there's some that I did not purchase. You can tell me what you think I missed the boat on, if there's something that you got this year that's really awesome. Thanks.